Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. It's nearly daytime outside now. It certainly is. Now, I see blue, green, shades of brown. Okay, this morning for the Dawn Busters Taste Challenge, we have Royale Club, introduced at some point in history. When? Don't know. When was it developed? I don't know. I know nothing about this product except that it's a Sazerac brand. It comes in various bottle sizes, like this dreary. Whoa. Like this dreary plastic bottle and nice glass bottles as well. And that it is a blended whiskey aged at least 4 years, and it's blended and bottled in California, Los Angeles, California, and blended and bottled in Kentucky. Was it Louisville, Kentucky? Yes. Oh, Bardstown, Kentucky. I tried to look up where the distillery or bottling plant was in Los Angeles, but I couldn't find out anything. Whether it's actually in the city limits or just in Los Angeles County, I don't know. So that's Royale Club. 80 proof. They talking about a perfect whiskey. Now, if this was really a perfect whiskey, why would you ever buy something? I'm trying to get the glare off. Why would you ever buy anything else, right? Like, well, I can get a perfect whiskey for $6.99 at Specs in Texas. Yeah, I've been tasting it, and I don't really think it's perfect. It's okay. But you know, these companies make all these claims on these bottles, labels. It's like they say, oh, this convenient plastic bottle, small plastic bottle that it's all plastic that you would buy for no particular reason. They're not going to say, oh, this is perfect for sneaking into work or sneaking into the football game because the metal detector won't pick it up. I mean, you know, they're not going to say that. Although that's probably what people are doing with it. Maxwell says, hello, Ron. Glad to see you. Hello, Maxwell. Glad to see you. Dress code says, ha, 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 ha. Okay. Ha, 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 ha. Back to you. John and Neely says, good morning, Ron. Good morning, John and Neely. We have Beam's 8-star going up against it. Well, it is a glass bottle. Ring-a-ding-ding, Tuesday morning. Introduced in 1976. Aged at least 2 years. Bottled in Claremont. Almost poured it in the B8S, Beam's 8-star. Bottled in Claremont and what is it, Louisville? Oh, Frankfurt, yeah. Frankfurt. Well, that's Beam Suntory. Claremont and Frankfurt, Kentucky. I don't think they give tours at Jim Beam in Kentucky. I know they don't. It's just a production-only facility. I wanted to go in there a tour in Claremont, but they're like, oh, you have to make an appointment a day beforehand and all of this. I said, well, why would I have to go through all of that? And then you don't really get to see the distillery. You go to the Jim Beam experience. And I was like, nah, I'm just going home. Kind of like when we went to Genesee brewing company in Rochester. You don't get to tour the brewery. Oh no. You get to tour this pilot brewery, which is, if you want to call it tour, all you're doing is looking down on the floor. You're in the balcony and you're looking down in this one room with all the brewing equipment. It's like a little micro brewery. And they're like, well, we're doing stuff right now, so we can't take you on a tour because they were cleaning they had the water, the floor was wet. But I was thinking, what's the tour? I mean, I can see everything. So the brewmaster came and talked to us, but then I think he's gone now. They said I don't know if they said he was leaving. Does that mean he got fired? I don't think he got fired. They wouldn't have made an announcement. Tomorrow is it's his last day, telling, goodbye. He was nice. He was complaining about having to make any IPAs. He was saying, like, I'm a purist. This is unfinished beer. This is bullcrap. But I have to do it because they say, oh, this is the thing. So he was complaining he had to make a beer he wasn't comfortable making. Maybe he complained too much. I don't know. I don't know. Now, he let us try one. It tasted good. But I prefer the 12-horse ale. I think it's called 12-horse. They said they didn't sell it anymore. They only had it on draft at the Pilot Brewery because they put it in the stores and nobody would buy it. The Genesee 12-horse ale. And they said it was no use putting it out there and it's all going expired, Well, I've got a lot more of the 8-star. You can feel it's heavier. It's funny how that little bit could make a difference. And I'm scared it's going to throw me off, but I don't have enough for another. Yeah, I do. Every day I do. I might have enough for one more taste challenge. No big deal, because it's not that big of a deal. Royale Club, if people were telling me, oh, I want to try it. I can't get it. I said, you're not missing much. Light amber, gold amber. I'm not saying it's bad, like, oh, I'm just saying you're not missing much. There's a lot of liquors out there that if you don't try them, you're just not missing much. You're just like average. Or maybe they're even good. But there's so many good ones that they're all kind of average, right? The average is good. It's like beer. People constantly saying, oh, I want to try this. I want to try this. I want to try this. I'll trade. I'll pay all this extraordinary amount of money to try something. I don't do that. I just don't. I mean, I like to try stuff if I see it, but just chasing everything. I used to do that for like a little while, and it probably wasn't even a year. And then one day I said, why should I care about doing that? Every time you turn around, there's some new beer. I mean, most of them are good, at least good. Then you get the excellent range and then the world class. So it's kind of like a scale up there. Like usually the range is from good to world class, like in that area, like 85 to 100. Usually that's where I find that the beers kind of hover around. That's why my scores would be so high for stuff, but they're really not that high. It's just that I think everybody else is too low. They're saying, oh, this is 60 out of 100. There's no way it's a 60 out of 100. I mean, if your car would start 60 out of every 100 tries, you wouldn't keep it. You know what I mean? Like you would say, oh, I got to get rid of this piece of junk. That's what you would call it, right? A piece of junk. 40% of the time it doesn't start. But I don't think there's too many beers that are a piece of junk. There's just a lot of ordinary good stuff. Like, so that's the norm. The norm is good, average. So then people take that idea of, oh, I've had better. Yeah, I've watched these video reviews. I've had better. You may have had better. I don't know why that would make the score go lower for what you're drinking. That's just When I'm thinking, you see, I watch a Goose Island video, and oh, it's great, but I've had better. And that could be true. They still gave it a very high score. But see, so I think that the range is kind of like these whiskeys. The range is up. It's like a wiggle room at the top. That's why I like to use the 100 scale, because you can say 84 out of 100. There's no need to say 84 and a half. I mean, you could do that. You could just keep cutting it thinner. But I think then you get too, it gets too arbitrary. You know what I'm saying? Like now you just coming up with, you got to at least give it a solid number. 86 out of 100, 91 out of 100. And then give a rationale behind it. Don't just say, well, I just picked this number just because. Bill McIntosh says, hi, Ronald. Hey, John. Hey, Bill. I hope you can join us for Scoresby tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern time. I'd love for you to join us again. Johnny Neely said, Bill, what's up, man? Bill, so I'm still watching you guys. Keep up the good work. Good. I'm glad to hear that. And Frederick Byron says, morning from Memphis, Tennessee. Well, good morning to you in Memphis. Well, let's go with the taste challenge, because I got some business I want to take care of, like banking and stuff. And then I want to go to the store, blah, blah. All right. Have to buy groceries. I was going to buy Pop-Tarts. It's funny, because I'll buy Pop-Tarts. I don't buy the ones with frosting on them. I can't, it's just like too sweet. It's like a toaster pastry is sweet as it is, like too sweet. And then you're going to put sugar on the top. It's just like sickening. But let's say I buy the Kellogg's Blueberry Pop-Tarts without the frosting. I'll eat one and it's good. But then by the time I eat the second one out of the 8-pack, I'm like, ugh, I'm not going to buy Pop-Tarts again. So then I won't buy them for 6 months. But they're convenient. You stick them in a toaster and you eat them for breakfast. You know what I mean? Usually I just eat, a lot of times before work, I'll just eat a bowl of cereal, like Raisin Bran with a little bit of sugar on the top, little bit, not much. Not a big so much sugar person. I'll drink the first cup of coffee with sugar in it, the other 2 or 3 or 4 during the day at work with no sugar. All right, on with this. This is not a vlog. People say, I don't care about your drinking habits or your use of sugar. I don't care about that. I agree. Okay, I agree. Because I don't watch vlogs because I'm not interested about a fireplace somebody built or they went to see grandpa. I just say, I don't know these people. Or they'll say, these are my thoughts about. These are my thoughts about plumbing. You ever get angry when I was like, I'm not watching this. Now we're gonna go get blood pressure checked. Watch us on our exciting journey to get our blood pressure checked. I don't know who you are, and I don't want to see it. It's kind of like Facebook. I don't know these people. You say, well, you have 700 and something friends on Facebook. I know. If one should say friends, I don't even know these people. I was going through the list. I was like, how do I know this person? A lot of it's because of beer reviews and, the video reviews. They'll watch and say, let's be friends. I say, okay. But I don't know. I mean, I don't mind them looking at my stuff because what do I post? Comic books and cars. Oh, look, a 1978 Buick Regal. I mean, that's interesting, but it's just I would, and then look, he has a Superman comic book from 1982. Oh, Gil Kane, the artist. Oh, he was a good artist. That's the extent of that. But all this other business that I'm going to get on Facebook and post, it's raining today. Why would anybody? And then people will put a sad face. Oh, I'm so sorry, it's raining. Why would I want to see that? Why would you want to see that I ate beans or that you had spaghetti? So that's the thing I can't get. That's why I think, like some people saying, it's some kind of CIA operation for some kind of mind control. You know what I mean? Or some kind of information gathering. Because there's no. Okay. All right, let's get off of that. I'm doing what I'm preaching. You say you're doing what you're preaching against. I know. One reason is because I'm trying to extrapolate this aroma thing. Well, okay, this one is peppery in the nose, and there's a little caramel and you know, a little wood, but it seems to have a little higher rye content than you would expect from something like this. They're blended at an 80-20 ratio, 20% straight whiskey and 80% grain neutral spirits, or moonshine is what that's what that is. Which is why I don't understand the excitement for moonshine. It's like, wow, I'm so excited. I bought this undeveloped product. Okay. If you just want the alcohol, fine. But that's not too remarkable. Okay. This one is a little sweeter in the nose, and this one is a little, is it woodier? I don't know about the wood. I don't know about the wood. I know that it probably has more, maybe sourdough. I don't know. It's hard to say. These are very hard to figure out. So I don't know what to say about them. I would say buy them and try them. No, they don't really smell like other products. You know what I mean? So if you ask me, should I buy Royale Club or Beams 8 Star? Well, yeah, if you could find a glass bottle, 750 milliliter bottle for $7.99 or $6.99, I would buy it. I wouldn't pay more than that, though. No. $8.99 is almost, it's too high. I paid $8.99 for the Ancient Age Preferred. That was too high. That was not a value. But I never saw a glass bottle anywhere else in Louisiana, so I bought it because I can get it much cheaper per ounce by going to Winn-Dixie and buying the big bottle, the big plastic bottle. I do not want to drink that much of that stuff. Even though it's not bad, I don't want to drink it all. So I just paid. The $8.99 was for the convenience of it. You know, sometimes you pay for the convenience. Okay, I'm going to read the comments in a moment because there's some good comments. Yeah, this one is just like, you know, some wood, some pepper, some flavor generally associated with whiskey, as the U.S. government actually requires this to be. It actually requires that. I don't know how they could prove that in court. I guess they could let the judge taste it and say, does that taste like whiskey? Or whatever. But mostly it's just like filler, you know what I mean? Like bulk. It tastes like the flavor's only on the periphery. The body of it tastes like neutral. Well, yeah, ding dong, ding, ding, ding. It's grain neutral spirits. It's just corn distillate. It's filler. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay. Same thing, more wood, more of that little odd flavor I talked about in Royale Club, which at first I thought it was plastic. Now I'm not thinking that, you know, from the bottle, because I don't think those bottles do that, because it wouldn't just be an isolated incident like me today, right? It would be happening all the time and everybody would be complaining and they wouldn't sell. Well, maybe they would, because some people are just old alcoholics and they'll buy it. If it's cheap, they'll buy it. They don't care if it tastes like vinyl hose pipe, you know, a garden hose. They're just, because they're drunks, you know, they're drinking. But, you know, I'm thinking it wouldn't sell as well. So they get the PET bottles, the plastic is probably all right. But whatever, it's got this little odd flavor. Like a little odd, not greatly odd or, you know, enormously odd, but just somewhat odd. And then this one has that green wood, you know, that cellar mold type thing that I talked about with Jim Beam. All right, so it's like Jim Beam, but with like a filler in it. I don't know how to describe it, because, you know, Jim Beam is straight bourbon whiskey, Kentucky bourbon whiskey, and then this is not straight. You know what I mean? It's probably 2-year aged Jim Beam mixed with the grain neutral spirits. So it's got the filler. Some people would hate that because they want the straight whiskey experience, the full Jim Beam depth of flavor, which I don't find it has that much depth of flavor, honestly. Doesn't taste bad, but I don't see where it's got this great depth of flavor. So I don't think you're losing that much on 8-star. You can get Jim Beam for what, $13? You can get the 8-star for $8. You might want to save $5 and just get the dang 8-star. I think that's why Dornax sells a lot of it. And Dornax is kind of like in the wealthier part of Metairie. So I think people are maybe just buying it to make mixed drinks at a cocktail party or something. But, you know, I don't think you're losing that much because you're not starting with a whole lot. Okay, some comments. Buy some Limburger cheese, onions also, of course. I'm not going to buy Limburger cheese because I bought some other specialty cheese that I'm going to break out. I want to go buy some Hogshead cheese, though, at Cox's Meat Market in Reserve, Louisiana, because people told me they make really good Hogshead cheese. And I've had all the other homemade Hogshead cheese around here, you know, at stores, not people's own Hogshead cheese. I did have Joe Paralou's Hogshead cheese that he made. It was very good. What's the worst beer you have ever had? Well, I've had a lot of them. There's a lot of worse beers, like Super Brew 15. Earthquake High Gravity 12% made me puke. And guess what I saw at Aquista Pace Saturday? I was shopping around at the Aquista Paces in Mandeville, Louisiana, their new location, their wine and cheese shop. And I'm looking around and I say, oh no, Super Brew 15 in that big tall bottle from Romania, Bucharest, Romania. I said, and I say 15% alcohol. Whoopee! I said, oh no. $3.99 a bottle. They ought to pay you $3.99 a bottle to drink it as a dare. I said, oh no. And people buy this? I can't. No. John and Nelly said, haha, plumbing vlogs. Sounds exhilarating. I'll stick to Dawnbusters taste challenges, I think. Yeah, well, does odd equate to good? Does odd equate to unique? Jacob Miller said, odd just equates to unusual, strange, peculiar, and, you know, abnormal, right? John and Neely said, I never had any issues with plastic bottles. However, I heard that freezing the bottles can cause some undesirable reaction with the plastic and alcohol. I don't put whiskey in the freezer. I don't either, so really. Now, gin, yeah, I'll put the gin in the freezer. But I put that Pinnacle gin in the freezer, and I didn't taste anything strange about it. And it was in a plastic bottle, so tasted just like the same. Oh, and I saw a big glass, some glass bottles of the Pinnacle gin, big green glass bottles at that place in Madisonville on Louisiana Highway 22, right close to the drawbridge. But I didn't buy it. I just said, oh, I knew they had glass bottles. I knew it, and that's from France, La France, République Française. Pinnacle comes from France. Reaper Actual says, I prefer Evan Williams over Jim Beam and Jack Daniels. Jack is overpriced in my opinion. Boy, that's the truth. That is the truth. Don't worry, Trump will make glass bottles again, says Death Head 69. I think so. I think Trump is going to just make beer, wine, and liquor taste better over the next 8 years. In fact, I noticed, you probably noticed this. Did you notice after the middle of November 2016 that the product started tasting a little bit better? I noticed that. I think everybody clearly noticed that. Because like around late November 2016, I was tasting wine and beer, and I said, oh, yeah, this is better again. It's great again. You know what I mean? It tastes better, and beer is great again. And I did appreciate that for some reason. So I think after 8 years, it's going to just get better and better. And I want to appreciate, I want to compliment you for bringing up that, because I think a lot of people noticed that. Greetings, Ron. I'd like to mention that Pabst has an APA. Have you heard of it? I hear about it every day, David Runeck, but we don't get it here. And then I was talking to a store manager yesterday, and he was telling me, oh, yeah, I heard about that. He said, they told me it's coming June 1st. I said, June 1st? Other people have been getting it for months. He said, oh, maybe it was May 1st. So it could be out there today, you know, or tomorrow. So it's probably coming our way. Is it going to last? Probably not. You know, a lot of these variants from Pabst, they're here today and gone tomorrow. And I'm still waiting for that Budweiser red ale. Pinnacle makes gin. I thought they only made flavored vodkas. Oh, no, they make straight vodka, not just flavored. And they make a gin. It's a green bottle. You won't find much about it. You know, it's just like the vodka. Same bottle design, everything, but it's gin. It's pretty good, actually. I think the Crown Rust gin is better, more than likely. And that's just like the Crown Rust vodka. Same thing, but it's green instead of the red, like Crown Rust is red, and then it's green. Everything's green. Or Taka gin. You know, Taka vodka is the blue and silver, but then the gin is green and silver. Death has said he will, more crisp. Saisons are better than IPAs, says Jacob Miller. Oh, no, I don't agree with that. I think IPAs are much better than Saisons, and I'm unanimous in that. I am unanimous in that. Okay, I think this is the Beams 8-star. Ooh, look at those alcohol eggs. You see, it's got those little fence posts. It looks like little fence posts. And I think Jim Beam products do that. They look like little, not fence posts, but the slats, you know, the, whatever those things are called. The fence boards, excuse me. I knew they had a name. Okay, so here we go. If I'm wrong, I'm going to be so ashamed. But I ain't wrong. You can trust me. You can trust me to be right sometimes. I am absolutely always right for the most part, to a large extent. I don't know if you looked at my scores over the last year or so with these Donbus, it may not be too impressive. Budweiser Red Ale, I'll have to look, no, Red Lager. I'll have to look into that. I didn't know Budweiser released another new beer. Yeah, Budweiser Red Lager. Reaper Extra said, I never got into IPAs. If I'm going to drink a craft type beer, it's going to be a stout, preferably a Russian Imperial Stout. Well, that's supposedly my favorite beer style because I did that tag video, my top 5 favorite beers, styles, but I didn't feel too comfortable doing that video because like I was telling John and Nilly, I said, I don't think along those lines. Like I never go throughout the day or at all thinking, now let me make sure I get a beer from my top 5 beer styles, because I never think about that. I don't think I ever thought about it. So I just made a list, but I don't think I wouldn't have a lot of confidence in that list if I were you. I have things I don't like light beer. It's not a style I care for. Not because it's bad. It's just too thin and watery. Okay, so I don't think light beer is bad. Well, you know, Rockdale Light's bad, but Kirkland Light's bad. But I mean, the style is not bad. It's not for me. Saisons. Oh, I've had some wonderful Saisons. I just don't like them. I don't like that Britannomyces that. I mean, I just don't like it. It doesn't mean it's bad. So, you know, I mean, flavored beers. I just don't really ever want to drink beer that's got flavoring in it. I mean, it's not bad. I just don't like it. Like we drank the KBS. You know, it was good. We liked it. We gave it a high score, but my friend David was somebody, he was disappointed in it. He said he thought it had gone downhill a little bit. I haven't had enough experience drinking it to say that. But, I mean, just because it's 12.3% and it's got chocolate and coffee in it and all of this, that doesn't make me that excited. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And it's barrel aged. That's fine. I don't really care for barrel. I like to drink bourbon, I guess. I guess if you haven't had enough corn grits in your life. But beer that's aged in bourbon barrels just does not excite me. I'm not against it. I don't oppose it. I don't have an axe to grind against it or anything. I don't really have an axe to grind against any beers. I watch video reviews where people, they got an axe to grind, you know, and then they just go on and on about how they, you know, they got this problem, this hang up with a certain beer. I just don't have that. Me personally, I don't have that. But all right, so that's the whole point. Is the top 5 thing is almost like non-applicable to me. Yeah, I don't enjoy light beer in the slightest. Well, I do enjoy it, like when I drink a Bud Light or a Miller Lite at Bingo or Coors Light at Bingo. Well, I'll enjoy it because that's what they've got. So I'm not sitting there drinking it and talking about, oh, I hate it. And I'll think about it while I'm sipping before I go out there and sell more sales sheets or that bonanza they're trying to train me to do. And I'm thinking, yeah, you know, Coors Light has some interesting characteristics and it's got some complexity to it and all of this. So I always be thinking that. But obviously, I would buy Coors Banquet. You know what I mean? And if I could get Coors Extra Gold, I would buy that over the Banquet. But I can't get it. So it's just a matter of preference, not that a product is bad. These blended whiskeys, oh, well, they're okay. I don't honestly love the style. Don't hate it. It's not like people say horrible, tastes like airplane glue and all that. No, it doesn't taste like it. No airplane glue. Do I prefer bourbon? I wouldn't say that. Honestly, I like to be honest. I don't want to get up here and lie. Even though the popular thing would be to say I prefer bourbon, obviously, you know, bourbon, yeah, a real man, you know. But I prefer, I think, the Canadian blended whiskeys and the Scotch. I prefer those, but that's me, you know. Thanks for watching this video production. And guess what's coming up? I think on Thursday, I'm going to do, Kessler. Yeah, I did a video review for Kessler blended whiskey, the second best-selling whiskey in America. Kessler. And I'm going to go up against Seagram 7, the #1 selling blended whiskey, right? That makes sense, right? #1 versus #2. Will Kessler top Seagram 7? I don't think so. No. And then I'll go up against Beam's 8-Star, which is right up there, one of the better selling ones. And then I think I'll go up against Ancient Age Preferred, which is, looks like it's gaining a lot of traction, starting to catch on around here. Well, by that time, the bottle will be gone. It's a small bottle. But I'm excited about the Kessler Taste Challenges. I got to say, the flavor was good on its own merits. Yes, I liked it. Thanks for watching this video production. And don't forget, Seagram 7 is decent. I agree with that. Don't forget, tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern Time, we're going to examine Scoresby Scotch. Blended Scotch whiskey.